Hey everyone, I'm excited to be introducing our Module 2 film, the required film viewing, City Lights from 1931. Of course, in the PowerPoint this week, we talked about the silent film age and the silent film stars. And really, out of all the silent film greats, Charlie Chaplin's the most remembered. He made some great classic films, including The Kid, Modern Times, his first talkie effort in 1940, The Great Dictator. And he was known for not only starring in his films, but he also directed, wrote them, composed the music, really was just an auteur director, really involved with all aspects of his filmmaking. What he had done that was so memorable is he created a character in the 19-teens, around 1910 and 1915, called the Tramp. And often from that point on in his short films and his films throughout the 20s, he would play this tramp character who was kind of a homeless vagrant type of character. He dressed in baggy clothes, sometimes had a cane, kind of wobbled when he walked, had a fake kind of painted on mustache. And even though he did a lot of gags and was very comic, he, Chaplin being the brilliant filmmaker he was, always had a social subtext to his films. So often the tramp character would try to help those who couldn't help themselves, or the poor, or people who were having a bad time. And he was known for playing these characters. And in a lot of his films, and we'll see this in City Lights, he mixes comedy and drama, which we now call the dramedy, to get audiences to laugh at things, but to think things over, and to really get emotional at the end for the poignancy. So the tramp character is once again featured in City Lights, but what's interesting is it's 1931. In 1927, a film called The Jazz Singer, which isn't that great of a film, but it was a popular film. It was a singing, talking film, and it introduced audiences to dialogue in film. And really after The Jazz Singer, because that became so popular, whenever you push bounds with technology in the world of film, that's usually what audiences want to see from now on. Similar to us wanting to see, fancy CGI effects today. So what happened was, after The Jazz Singer, most films post 1927 were talkies because that's what audiences wanted to see. But Chaplin did not want to give the tramp character a voice. He wanted him to be a silent character where you focused more on his physical gags and what he did from within, rather than him talking or having a voice. So in 1931, when City Lights comes out, he is still making his films as silent films. There's some use of music and such, but City Lights is remembered some 94 years later now as really just an achievement of cinema. What the film's about is the tramp character played by Chaplin has fallen in love, meets a blind woman, has fallen in love with her. She is hard on times. She can't pay her rent. He's going to do whatever he can to try to help her out. And this movie is still fresh all these years later because it's about falling in love, sacrifice, doing things to help others, to impress others. This film, again, as many silent films, is a master at putting gags on screen visually, and it's noted for a really inventive, creative boxing sequence that you'll see toward the end of the film. While you're watching this film, especially if it's your first time watching a silent film, kind of note what it's like to watch a film without dialogue. You really have to pay more close attention to it. We're so used to now hearing dialogue, we can be in the kitchen making dinner or in the next room and just listen to the dialogue when we're watching a streaming movie and probably just come back without pausing it and not really have missed anything. In a silent film, you've really got to be an attentive audience. You've got to pay attention. So keep that in mind while you're watching this. I hope you enjoy the film. It's really very entertaining, very poignant, and I look forward to reading your discussion reaction to it.